Okay, today I'm going to remake my panel, my old busted panel here. This is where the distribution panel was located on the starboard side, and I have two identical ones on either side. One of them has a little spot for like storage for your keys and all that kind of good stuff, and then the other side had the switch panel. So this is an old piece of plastic, and it seems like you can see it's all bent and so on and so forth. Just the heat and the years has pretty much taken its toll. So what it is, I traced out the use this as a template and trace this out onto 1/2" birch to be able to remake this. And then I'm going to use I have some vinyl over here that I got at Joann's Fabrics, very, very cheap. They had a little remnant piece left that allowed me to get just what I need for about $6 or $7, and I chose black. So that's what I'm going to use for that particular deal. So I'm going to cut those out, get them drilled, and then see if I can get them covered. Well, there we have it. Two panels cut out thanks to my trusty circular saw. I'm also painting my dash panels. I got that one completely out. That one not so much. I just basically taped up the gauges so that way I can paint them a nice satin black. I've already got the port side done, and I did it it's a satin. It's not gloss black, but that way it's a little easier to clean when you're out, and flat black tends to show fingerprints and all that kind of junk. So I used a satin, like as a Rust-Oleum, so that way it's tends to stick really good. Roughed it up with 200 grit on both, and waiting on my wife to get back with a giant plastic drop cloth to go around this whole area so that way I can spray that. Well, I got one side complete. And in my haste, I forgot to video kind of the different steps that I did to be able to get here. I got kind of caught up in it and got a phone call from a customer, so kind of forgot to. But I still got the other one to make, so I will document that, step by step. Basically, all it is just cut a piece of wood, and I marked off exactly where I wanted my hole to be cut for the fuse panel and for my 12-volt source, and I cut them out, and then I sprayed Super 33 or Super 77, whatever that is, that spray adhesive, and put it on there, and then pulled the vinyl tight on the back side, and then I drilled 6 holes, and then I put number 6 inch, I think they're 2-inch screws with finishing washers on it. Simple as that. But right now, while it's got it warm in the garage, I'm going to actually put down plastic and see if I can shoot that black. Get that done, and then I'll tackle that a little later on. Well, there's the first coat of black on the instrument cluster. I basically took a whole bunch of plastic and wrapped it all around to make sure I didn't get any overspray, and then shot a coat of black over it. So I guess we'll see how it looks when it dries. Okay, so this is for the port side, and basically I have my panel that I've cut my cup holder hole in, and I have my vinyl turned over backwards. And I use this stuff right here because, man, it sticks pretty much instantly. So basically, you just take this stuff and you spray, and it's out. You spray on this a coating, and you spray on the board a coating. And then what you do is you wait a couple of seconds, and then you'll flip this over and put it on top. Okay, so I've flipped it over, and I pushed down really hard on it to kind of get a good bond. And you're going to take some more of this, and you're basically going to go around the edges all the way around, because then you're going to take this stuff up and over and wrap it on. You need to have both surfaces with the glue, because it's a contact cement. It's designed to join it to itself. So, okay, so I folded all over, and I also took and I put a 1/4-inch staple in every corner to hold everything down. And then I'm going to take my razor blade, and I'm going to cut all of this flush, so that way I don't have all that bunching. You got to make sure when you fold this stuff over, that's where you want it, because once it's stuck, it's stuck. It's not coming back off again. Well, there you have it. Got my cup holder in. It's all down. Nice and smooth on this side. No wrinkles. So all I gotta do is just drill my 4 or 6 little screw holes. Stick it on in. Well, that's number 2 in. Got the this side in. Only thing I'm missing is in the old one there was a little like I don't know, retainer box or something like that. I looked all over and tried to come up with something. I figured, you know what, the heck with it. Just put it in there and have it as is. And then I also put back in my dash panel, which is now black. And then put another coat on this side. So that's all I can do for now. Go inside, wait for it to dry, and then pull the plastic off. Well, after 2 days of letting it dry, this is done. I pulled the plastic off and pulled the tape off the gauges, and I'm really happy with how this turned out. I mean, it looks nice and smooth. I roughed it up with some 500 grit before I started painting, and it gave it some good tooth, and this stuff is just rock solid. So I'm real happy with it. The bad thing is it makes everything else look old and busted. You got the new hotness, and you got old and busted. So I don't know, I'll probably leave it, but everything else looks pretty good. I kind of thought about figuring out how to get this stuff off and, you know, painting it or something like that, but I guess I could brush it with some vinyl paint or something like that, but it gives it a little bit of character. And I'm going this next couple of days and get me a new steering wheel. I'm going to get me one of those nifty little ones and get rid of that old nasty looking wooden one. And hopefully that'll set off this interior will be finished. Complete. And another month or so I can put the engine back in, hopefully.